Senator Nick Xenophon failed in a bid to have the Church of Scientology investigated.
Several months ago, when I spoke out about this organisation, which I see as a dangerous organisation that engages in criminal activity on a systematic basis, I put up a motion that there be a specific look at the Church of Scientology. It was put to me privately by a number of colleagues, and I won't name them because what they put to me I think was very much in good faith and with goodwill, that it would be more appropriate that there be a broader discussion about the tax-free status of charities and religious organisations as to whether a public benefit test should apply, as is the case in the United Kingdom. A test that's been in place for many years, a test that has stood rigorous examination, and a test that looks at the public benefit an organisation does balanced by the harms of that organisation. And it's interesting to note that in the United Kingdom, the Church of Scientology has had difficulty in getting a tax-free status because of their activities, because of the harm caused, and because of the nature of their organisation, the way it is structured. And I think the secrecy has something to do with that to a considerable degree. But that was not successful, Mr Acting Deputy President, because it was deemed to be too broad an inquiry. And I accept fully that those senators who spoke to me privately, thinking that this was a way forward, they did so in good faith. So I'm back to square one in a sense by looking at a specific inquiry into this organisation, a specific inquiry that does not, and I emphasise does not, will not inquire into the validity or otherwise of the belief systems of the Church of Scientology and any associated entities. This is not about religious belief. This is not about belief systems. This is about behaviour. There is a fundamental difference. I do not want to stand in the way, and nor should this place stand in the way of questioning a person's belief systems. But when we have mounting evidence of cases of abuse, of cases where this organisation says it is above the law because of its own court system, a parallel court system it seems to the laws of this nation, then I think that's worth looking at. I think it's worth looking at because no one should be above the law, no organisation should be above the law. Now this motion follows the very extensive media reports. We saw it on Four Corners last week about this organisation. The Sunday night program on Channel 7, on the 7 network, looked at this, the Church of Scientology, and it's important that we look at these allegations of abuse against employees, volunteers and followers, including ex-employees, ex-volunteers and ex-followers of the Church of Scientology and all its associated entities in terms of a number of very disturbing practices, including coerced abortions, unsafe occupational health and safety practices, unconscionable, misleading and deceptive conduct in the context of goods and services provided and charged for by the Church of Scientology and other associated entities, and the harassment of followers and ex-followers. These are matters that ought to be looked at in the context of a Senate inquiry, because a Senate inquiry can make recommendations, can hear the evidence, and can I emphasise, note, there will be ample opportunity for the organisation itself, for the Church of Scientology, to give its evidence fairly before any inquiry, so that those former followers, the victims of the Church, can give their evidence, they can be questioned, and as can the Church of Scientology.
Can I say at the outset I appreciate the sincerity and the passion which Senator Xenophon brings to this issue, and I know it's genuine, and I know he seeks to represent people who've been damaged by their engagement with the Church of Scientology. I think, though, we've had difficulty in responding to Senator Xenophon's various motions on the subject, as he seeks, with his normal persistence, to get support for a proposition that effectively has the Senate inquire into the Church of Scientology. We do have to use our powers and capacity wisely, and it would be very easy for Senate committee processes to be brought into disrepute if people thought they were being used to achieve purposes beyond our role in terms of public policy and public administration. And I fundamentally have a concern about us saying we're going to have an inquiry into a particular organisation, because at various times a majority in this chamber will have a view about a particular organisation. At times there might have been a majority in this chamber to inquire into the Wilderness Society, concerns about its activities. There may have been a majority to inquire into the CFMEU, that particular trade union, and the way they operate. And it's very appealing for some. Senator Abetz's eyebrows go up. He thinks that's got some merit because of his particular concerns about that unit. But I think fundamentally on this issue, Senator Abetz has been consistent as well. And I'm worried because we actually agree on this matter, and it's very rare we do. But if you think it through, if you single out an organisation and say the Senate's going to inquire into them because we want to use that inquiry to air claims about that organisation, to allow people under parliamentary privilege to make claims about those organisations, not in a court, but to make very serious claims, as are made, referred to by Senator Xenophon, claims of criminal behaviour, and to have them tested by the Senate in a Senate hearing. Now, we're not a court of law. We don't have the protections and the processes that a court of law has. We're a group of senators who come together to inquire into issues of public policy and public interest.